Hey, welcome to Happiness Bar, where my goal is to share cocktails, content, and happiness. This is the last fall craft cocktail episode. Little introduction. We got a new plant going on here. Unfortunately, my bamboo died. It didn't die, it wasn't looking good. I don't know what happened, to be honest. It got yellow in weird places. Not 100% certain. But this is my new plant. It's a cactus. I forget what kind of cactus. An Eve's pin, I think, something like that. That's Ernest and Eve. So we got some new greenery here on the Happiness Bar set. And today on this last fall craft cocktail episode, we're gonna do something cool. This cocktail is made with London dry gin. It's made with brandy. It's made with Amontillado Sherry, fresh carrot juice, and a smoked paprika syrup, okay? This cocktail, it just has tons of great fall flavor. We're also gonna add a little bit of Molasses Bitters into that cocktail as well. So definitely punching with the fall flavors. Last craft cocktail of the fall, then moving into winter. So this is gonna be a cool one. So this cocktail is called the 2003 Tiger Incident. And if you're wondering where that name comes, just Google the 2003 Tiger Incident and you'll see. All right, so the build for the 2003 Tiger Incident is 1.5 ounces of a London dry gin, a 1/2 ounce of brandy, a 1/2 ounce of Amontillado Sherry, a 1/2 ounce of carrot juice, a 1/4 ounce of smoked paprika syrup, 3 dashes of Molasses Bitters, and 1 dash of Saline solution. This cocktail is stirred, it's served in a rocks glass on a large ice cube, and we're gonna garnish that with a carrot peel. All right, so we got a little bit of work to do to get this cocktail ready, so let's go ahead and jump right into the prep work. The tools you're gonna need for the prep: you're gonna need a juicer, you're gonna need a cutting board, you're gonna need a knife, you're gonna need a kitchen scale, you're gonna need a liquid measuring cup, you're gonna need a pot, you're gonna need some cheesecloth. I, however, could not find cheesecloth in my store for some reason again, so I found this weird, supposedly coffee filter, which I think this will work better than a paper coffee filter for straining out that paprika syrup, so I'm gonna give this a shot, but try and find cheesecloth. So, yeah, not cheesecloth. And you're gonna need some sealable storage containers. All right, so for our prep work, the first thing we're gonna do is make our smoked paprika syrup. So the recipe for our smoked paprika syrup, we're gonna need 500 grams of sugar, we're gonna need 33 grams of smoked paprika, and we're gonna need 500 milliliters of water. So to start, let's grab our kitchen scale, let's grab a storage container, let's place it on that scale, and we're gonna zero out that scale. Next, we're gonna grab our sugar, and we're gonna weigh out our 500 grams of sugar. All right, we got our 500 grams of sugar. We're gonna add that into the pot. You grab another storage container, place it on our scale, zero out that scale, and we're gonna weigh out our smoked paprika as soon as we get it open. All right, so we need 33, that little thing off, grams of our smoked paprika. I know this container's 50, so this will be about the whole container. There we go, 33 grams. We're gonna add that into the pot with the sugar. Next, grab our liquid measuring cup, and we're gonna measure out our 500 milliliters of water. 500 milliliters of water into the pot with the sugar and the paprika. All right, let's go ahead and get our burner on to a medium-high heat. I'm gonna grab our bar spoon. I wanna give that a good stir. Okay, and what we're looking for, guys, is we're gonna bring that up to a boil, and then we wanna reduce that heat to like a medium-low and let that simmer for like 30 minutes. Let that go, let that keep cooking. All right, guys, so you wanna continue to stir this every so often, really make sure it mixes in well together. Starting to heat up, it's not quite at a boil yet, but I'm definitely starting to smell that smoked paprika. It is fragrant. All right, so while we're waiting for that to come up to a boil and we reduce it, let's go ahead and get started on our next bit of prep here. Which is juicing our carrots. Now, you can buy fresh pressed carrot juice at the store. It's a very easy thing to find. I just figure I'm just gonna juice it fresh here, do it on camera, make sure I have the freshest ingredients. But if you can't, if you don't have a juicer, or juicing carrots seems like it's gonna take too long for you, you can buy like fresh pressed carrot juice. Just make sure there's no additives, no sugar, nothing like that, all right? We are gonna need our cutting board. Guys, we're also gonna need a peeler. I forgot to mention that before. It's important that we peel our carrots because after you wash them really good, you wanna still make sure you get all that exterior stuff off just to keep the juice super clean, super fresh. All right, so I'm just gonna peel the outer layers off of my carrots just to get any of that like dirt and grime that washing them didn't get. I don't know about you, but I like peeling vegetables. Potatoes, carrots, whatever. Makes me feel like I'm in the army during World War II or something. Get all that bullshit off. Make sure these are super fresh looking carrots. Oh, you know, so guys, you can, buying fresh carrots, you could do, you know, whatever carrots you want. You could do yellow carrots, purple carrots. I stick with the orange carrots just because the color of the paprika syrup being this dark, rich red, and the color of the carrots, you know, if it's all orangish red, and the cocktail comes out like a really pretty orange-red color. I'm not certain the color of the cocktail will come out if you use like purple carrots, dark red paprika syrup. It might be like a kind of a muddied out color. The yellow carrots, though, that might be nice. You know, that might lighten it up a little bit even more. So go with whatever carrots you want. I think the orange, though, might get you the best color for your cocktail. It's gonna be super vibrant looking. All right, that is all carrots I need to peel. Throw these peels aside. So let's go ahead and grab our knife. Before I go about juicing my carrots, I'm gonna try to make a little garnish out of one of these carrots here. So I'm just gonna grab one of my larger carrots, cut the end off, and then I'm gonna cut it long ways so I have a flat side here. Pause for a second, guys. My syrup is coming to a boil. I'm gonna drop that heat down to like a low, medium-low heat just so it's simmering. We're gonna let that simmer for 30 minutes. Remember to reach over and stir this every so often. So we got the flat side of our carrot here. And what I'm going to do, should be very careful. I'm gonna turn it up this way, and I'm just gonna try and shave this carrot. I know it's not wise to cut towards your hands. I'm being super careful though. So what I want is just to get a real thin carrot. Although with the peeler I'm getting too thin of a carrot. So I'm gonna try to get it as long as I can. Yeah, I think that'll do nicely. Then you want to take it, right? And we're just gonna fold it like an S here. Okay, I'm gonna run a toothpick through. Something to add a little flair to the cocktail. All right, grab another container. I'm just gonna set my little garnish aside over here. Simmering beautifully. So now what we wanna do before we go juicing, let's cut the ends off of all the carrots real quick. And I'm just gonna cut these carrots into some chunks that are small enough to go into the juicer. Remember, there's only a ½ ounce of carrot juice in this cocktail, guys, so just juice as many carrots as you need for the amount of cocktails you're gonna make. All right, so we got our carrots cut as you see. I got my juicer set up here. I'm gonna turn mine on to make sure I got it going for like hard fruits and veg. And then all we gotta do is just drop our carrots down in there and give it a press. The machine will do the rest. All right, we're gonna let that run for a minute. Let's crank that off. All right, our syrup is still simmering nicely, so give it a little stir again. Scrape things down off the walls of the pot here. And we got our carrot juice. So I'm just gonna put that into a container, cover it up. And if you are saving it, guys, again, label and date. I would not keep it for more than like 3 days, 4 days, carrot juice. All right, guys, this has been simmering now for about 30 minutes. It's looking good. I'm gonna turn that off the heat. One last stir, one last mix. So you're gonna wanna let that cool. Then you're gonna grab yourself a storage container And you're gonna need your basket strainer of some sort, a mesh basket strainer. That's something that you can drape your cheesecloth over to put it in, to strain it into your container. Again, I couldn't find cheesecloth, so I'm gonna try to use this weird fucking sock thing. It's meant for straining, apparently. So we're gonna see how that goes. Let your syrup cool enough to handle, ideally, room temperature. I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a go. And we're just gonna pour this into our little weird sock thing. And strain right through, man. All right. So, I'm just gonna hold this right here and just let it strain. You can see what it's doing there. This is actually working out fairly nicely. If you can find one of these, man, I found this in the utensil section at my grocery store. Although this thing will probably be stained bright red after this. But we'll try and wash it and reuse it because I think it works well. So let me grab my bar spoon. I'm just gonna give it a little stir inside here just to help it along a little. And basically straining it like this, it should capture all the real like fine sediment of the paprika, you know, because it's ground. You don't want that all in the cocktail really, you just want the flavor. Let's grab a lid and some blue tape to label and date. The shelf life on that, guys, should be good for up to a month refrigerated. All right, I'm gonna wash my pot real quick and then we're gonna jump into making the saline solution. All right, so the last thing we gotta do for our prep today is make our 15% saline solution, right? So this is the way we're just gonna add a touch of salt to our cocktail to really enhance the flavor of this cocktail. So let's start by grabbing our kitchen scale, grab another container, place it on that scale. And guys, you can make as much saline solution as you want to have on hand. I would say you can keep it. There's really no shelf life. I don't keep things for much longer than a month. So I'd probably only make enough that I would use over the course of a month. But for easy math here, 15%, I'm gonna do 100 grams of water. Okay, 100 grams. I'm gonna add that into my pot and zero out that scale again, 15%. So we're gonna do 15 grams of salt. All right, 15 grams of salt. We're gonna add that into our pot. We're gonna turn that burner on, bring it up to a medium-high heat, allow that to boil so that way the salt completely dissolves. Bar spoon, give that a little stir. Grab another container and I'm gonna go ahead and just label and date it while I'm waiting for that. All right. Guys, favorites in the fall, very nice. All right, still chewing my carrot. That's coming to a boil. Salt looks dissolved. Pour that into our little container for storage. Set that aside, and that is it for the prep work today, guys. Little time, but not too bad, right? We made our smoked paprika syrup. We made our carrot juice, which you could buy, but I did it fresh here. We made our 15% saline solution. That's everything we gotta prep. Let's go ahead and jump into making the 2003 Tiger incident. I went ahead and put my paprika syrup in the cheater bottle here, my carrot juice in the cheater bottle here. We got our saline solution. All right, so this is a stirred cocktail. We're gonna need our mixing glass. We are gonna need our jigger, and we're gonna need our rocks glass. So, cheapest ingredients to most expensive ingredients. We are gonna need 3 dashes of Molasses Bitters, a ½ ounce of our carrot juice, a 1/4 ounce of our delicious smoked paprika syrup, a ½ ounce of our Amontillado Sherry, a ½ ounce of our Brandy, 1.5 ounces of our London Dry Gin. And lastly, we're gonna need 2 drops of our 15% saline solution. Now let's grab our shaker tin and grab some ice for our mixing glass. Make sure we fill that ice all the way above the liquid to get that proper dilution. And let's grab our large cube for our rocks glass. Now grab our bar spoon and stirring for 20 seconds as always. "20 seconds. Grab your Hawthorne strainer. Pour that bad boy up. Let's go ahead and grab our little garnish we got here. And there you have it, guys. The 2003 Tiger Incident. Let's taste. Man. That's a very crushable, stirred cocktail right there. You get the sweetness from the carrot juice right off the bat. The brandy comes through and gives it some nice body, some nice warmth. That smoked paprika really kind of coats the mouth. And the sherry, the molasses bitters, that touch of salt in it really kind of brings all the flavors alive. That's like an alcoholic cooked carrot juice or something, man. That's like, the flavors are awesome. The molasses, that's a fun fall cocktail. There it is, guys, a 2003 Tiger Incident. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Maybe you made this recipe along with me. Maybe you wrote it down to save it for a later date. Either way, let me know how you're liking everything. And hey, as always, become a regular somewhere. Become a regular at your local watering hole. It's the best way to support local business. Become a regular here at Happiness Bar by liking, commenting, subscribing. Hit that bell if you want notifications. We got cocktail videos coming out every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern to get you ready for the weekend. Stay happy, everyone. Hot in this room.